الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Respected brothers and sisters, welcome to our class on the explanation of Al-Muqaddimah Al-Ajurrimiyyah, and the explanation that we are currently going through is Al-Tuhfah Al-Sanniyyah by Sheikh Muhammad Muhyiddin Abdul Hamid rahimahullah. And last lesson we started talking about, actually we took most of it, shurutu i'mali la amala inna. We were speaking about la annafiyatu lil jins, and we said the la annafiyatu lil jins ta'malu amala inna fa tansibu al-ism wa tarfa'u al-khabar. So you have ismu la, which is mansub, and you have khabaru la annafi lil jins, which is marfu', the same function as inna wa akhawatu inna. But we said that when four conditions are met, then this function becomes wajib for la an-nafiya. Huh? So we said when four conditions are met, this function of the amalu inna, it becomes wajib for la an-nafiya. So who can remind us of these four conditions before we move on? Who remember these four conditions? The Ash-Shurut al-Arba'ah. If they are present, then it is wajib for la an-nafiyah to have the amalu inna. Yes, nobody remembers? Okay. So Ilyas. Okay, go ahead, Ilyas.
الأول أن يكون اسمها نكرة.
Yes,
الثاني
good. This is awwal, yes. That ism of this la has to be nakira. Good. الثاني.
أن يكون متصلا بها.
Yep, ittisal, yes. Yani there cannot be anything between la and its ism. Good. They have to be connected. Number 3.
أن يكون الخبر نكرة.
Yep, the khabar also has to be nakira as well as the ism. Good. And the fourth one? Fourth one is what? Allah tatakarrara la. That the la itself cannot be repeated in the jumla. It can only be used once. So if these four conditions are met, then la an-nafiya, it's wajib for it to have the amal of inna. Now, and we looked at examples and we looked at some i'rab and so on and so forth. Okay, we're not going to repeat all that again. Yeah, if you want to, if you were not, you couldn't make it last lesson, then you can look at the recording. Now where we have stopped is basically if some of these or all of these conditions are not met, then what happens to this la an-nafiyah? Does it still have the amal of inna or not? Yes, there's two scenarios. If there are certain conditions from these four, if they are not present, they are not met, then it is impermissible for la to have the function of inna. However, there are other conditions from these four conditions. If they are not met, then la, then we have a choice. La can still, it's permissible for it to have the amal of inna, not wajib. So therefore la, therefore we have three scenarios where it is wajib for la to have amal inna, that's if all four conditions are met. Second is it is impermissible for la to have amal inna, and that is if certain conditions from these four are not met. We're going to look at them now. And the third scenario is where it is permissible for la to have the amal inna, even though some of these four conditions are not met. Okay, as for wajib, then we've looked at it. It is what meets all four conditions that Ilyas just mentioned. Okay, so now we're going to look at the other two scenarios, and then inshallah after that we're going to move on to the babul munada, which is the next bab. So our aim today is to finish this off and then also finish off al-munada, inshallah. That's our aim, obviously, is to finish off in this today, tomorrow and Thursday. Okay, so let me share the screen with you. All right. So as you can see, this is what we did last lesson. We started this. Shurutu i'mali la amala inna, yeah? We did all this. Now, we stopped here. We stopped here. So that's what we're going to look at now. It's pretty straightforward. So, قال, this is the author, Ibn Ajurrum, rahimahullah. He says, فَإِن لَمْ تُبَاشِرْهَا فَإِن لَمْ تُبَاشِرْهَا. Remember here, look. إِذَا بَاشَرَتِ النَّكِرَةَ. Yani if the la is directly connected to the nakira. Remember this? If the la is directly connected to the nakira. But now, what does he say here? فَإِن لَمْ تُبَاشِرْهَا. But if the la is not connected to ha, yani the nakira, what happens? So if this condition is not met, remember one of the four conditions is ittisal, that the la and ismu la have to be connected. There cannot be anything between them. So if this condition is not met, what's the outcome? وَجَبَ الرَّفْعُ وَوَجَبَ تَكْرَارُ لَا. Two things have to happen. It is wajib to have raf. So you cannot say, so you remember ismu la is what? Is either mabni fi mahalli nasb or it is mansoob, yes? Ismu la can either be mansoob or can be mabni fi mahalli nasb. But here now, one of these conditions not being met. Which condition is it? They are not connected. The la and the ismu la are not connected. So now خلاص, it cannot have the amal of inna. وجب الرفع. You have to make the ismu la marfu'. ووجب تكرار لا, and you have to repeat la. For example, look at the example. نحو لا في الدار رجل ولا امرأة. This is la. This is ismu la. Now, what's the problem here? Who can tell me? What's the issue here? Look at this jumla carefully. لا في الدار رجل ولا امرأة. Yes, anybody?
الشرط الثاني أن يكون متصلا بها
Yeah.
غير موجود.
Yep, good. So what is it that's come between them?
جار ومجرور.
Yep, excellent. Good. No. So here, this is the mushkila. That has come between la and ism. So wajaba raf'u. You can see we had to make it marfu. Wa wajaba takraru la. We've had to repeat la. So there's one la. And there's another la. Okay. So that's the first ruling. Okay, the second ruling is what? So, are we allowed to say La fid dari rajula wala imra'ata? Nope. Khata. We cannot say that because of this condition. It hasn't been met. Okay, that's the first thing. Look here now. فَإِن تَكَرَّرَتْ. Now, remember, what was the fourth condition? The fourth condition was Allah tatakarrara la. The la should not be repeated in the sentence. But now again, this is the condition they're talking about here. Condition number 4. فَإِن تَكَرَّرَتْ. But if it is repeated in the jumla, la is repeated. So look here. There is still ittisal. The la is still next to the ism. La is still next to the ism. Nothing has come between them. But what's the issue here? The la has been repeated. What happens in this case? What is the natija, the outcome? Jaza i'maluha wa ilgha'uha. Both are permissible. You can do i'mal, yani it can have the amal of inna wa ilgha, or it can be nullified. The amal of inna can be nullified, yani it doesn't have no action. No, it doesn't act. It doesn't have the function of inna. So both are permissible if that happens. But remember, the la and its ism are still next to each other. So for example, look here. فَإِنْ شِئْتَ قُلْ. So if you wish, you can say La rajula fid dari wala mara'ata. Can you see that? So here is still mansub, or yani it's still got fatha. Can you see this? So here it still has the amal of inna. Look here. La rajula. Is there anything between the two? No, they are connected. What's the issue? The issue is the two la's have been repeated. Or la has been repeated, as you can see. So in this case, you can have i'mal. It can have the function of inna, like here. La rajula fid dari wala mara'ata. Wa in shi'ta qult. And if you wish, you can say La rajulun fid dari wala mara'atun. La rajulun. So here, the la does not have the amal of inna. Okay, straightforward. Now, let's look at what the Sharih, Shaykh Muhammad Rahimullah says. He says, وَأَقُولُ, and I say, قَدْ أَرَفْتَ أَنَّ شُرُوطَ وُجُوبِ عَمَلِ لَا عَمَلَ إِنَّ أَرْبَعَةٌ. You have learned that the conditions for the la, conditions for the obligation of la having the amal of inna are four. وهذا الكلام في بيان الحال إذا اختل شرط من شروط الأربعة السابقة. And this kalam here, and that which I'm going to talk about, is to clarify when اختل شرط من شروط الأربعة السابقة, if one of these four conditions, previous four conditions, hasn't been met, what happens? Okay, we've spoken about it. Let's see what he says. وَبَيَانُ ذَلِكَ, and he goes an explanation of that. أَنَّهُ إِذَا وَقَعَ بَعْدَ لَا مَعْرِفَةٌ وَجَبَ إِلْغَاءُ لَا وَتَكْرَارُهَا. Okay, that's another thing. That's a rule actually which the author himself did not mention. So it's good he's mentioned it here. So look what it says. He says, وَبَيَانُ ذَلِكَ أَنَّهُ إِذَا وَقَعَ بَعْدَ لَا مَعْرِفَةٌ. If after the la there is a ma'rifah, not nakira. Remember we said that ismu la has to be nakira. He's saying if that's the first condition. He's saying if that first condition is not met, how? That now after la there is ma'rifah, not nakira. What happens? Can the la still have amal of inna? He said wajaba ilgha'u la. He said it is wajib to nullify the function of inna from la. Wa takraruha, and it's also wajib to repeat la. Nahu, for example, he gives an example. Look here. La Muhammadun zarani wala Bakrun. Neither Muhammad nor Bakr visited me. So look here. La Muhammadun. Is there anything between la and Muhammad? Nothing. They're connected. What's the issue? The issue is Muhammad is ma'rifah. So what do we have to do then? It cannot have la cannot have the amal of inna. That's why Muhammad here is marfu'. And takraru la, we have to repeat la. La Muhammadun, so that's rule number one. La Muhammadun zarani wala Bakr. Okay. Cannot just keep going without i'rab, yes? La Muhammadun zarani wala Bakrun. Easy peasy. This i'rab should be a doddle. So la is harfu nafyin mabniyun ala sukuni la mahalla lahu min al-i'rabi wala amal. It has no amal here. Remember, yes, this la has no amal because after it is Muhammad and it is ma'rifah. So this la cannot have amal of inna. It's just a harf nafi. Mabni al-sukun la amal. Okay. Muhammad, yes, Ilyas, what's Muhammad?
Muhammadun ismu la.
No, there is no ismu la here.
أو محمد فاعل مرفوع وعلامة.
Not fa'il, no, because fa'il, if you say that's the fa'il, where's the fi'l? Muhammad can only be fa'il if it's preceded by a fi'l. There is no fi'l here. So it is what?
مبتدأ.
Mubtada, yes. So this is Jumla Ismiya, good. Mubtada'un.
مبتدأ مرفوع وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخره.
Yep. مبتدأ مرفوع وعلامة رفعه ضمة الآخر. زار.
زار فعل ماض مبني على الفتح لا محل له من الإعراب.
زار فعل ماض مبني على الفتح لا محل له من الإعراب. والنون easy peasy.
النون نون الوقاية مبني على الكسر لا محل له من الإعراب ولا عمل.
Good. نون الوقاية مبني على كسر لا محل له ولا عمل. And then الياء.
الياء ضمير متصل مبني على السكون في محل نصب مفعول به.
نعم أحسنت. الياء ضمير متصل مبني على السكون في محل نصب مفعول به. محمد زارني. Yeah, so here obviously when you did this one فعل ماض زار فعل ماض مبني على الفتح. Yeah, and you said لا محل له من الإعراب. نعم. But then you need file. So what do you say? وفاعله
ضمير مستتر وجوبا
جوازا
تقديره هو.
نعم. يعني محمد زار هو ني. يعني زار هو ني. Oh, sorry. Apologies there. Okay. Yeah. So obviously زار فعل الماضي مبني على الفتح لا محل من الإعراب وفاعله ضمير مستتر جوازا تقديره. Remember whenever you فعل straight after look for a fa'il. This fa'il can either be يعني اسم ظاهر or it can be مضمر ضمير. Okay, good. So that's that. الواو حرف.
الواو حرف عطف مبني على الفتح لا محل له من الإعراب.
نعم ولا عمل. He has no عمل. Okay, so good. That's الواو. And then لا.
لا حرف نفي مبني على السكون لا محل له من الإعراب ولا عمل.
Good. So the la, this la also has the same i'rab as this la. Same thing. They have the same i'rab. Then what's bakr then? If waw is harfu atf, bakr is what?
بكر معطوف على الواو.
Nope. معطوف على محمد.
معطوف على محمد مرفوع مثله وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخره.
Good. Ahsant. So bakrun is معطوف على محمد. And if معطوف على something, it has the same i'rab. So it's marfu مثله. It's marfu just like Muhammad. Okay. So نعم. Where was that? Yes. So مرفوع مثله يعني مثل محمد. وعلامة رفع ضمة على آخره. نعم. جيد. طيب. Okay. Good. So that's that rule. Yeah. Okay. Now the second rule which we already talked about. What is it here? From here. Look here. وإذا فصل بين لا واسمها فاصل ما. But if something comes between لا and its ism, any فاصل ما, فاصل ما, أي فاصل, any فاصل, anything that comes between the two, if it's separated, if la is separated by from its ism with anything, what happens? What is the ruling? What did we say? Two things, yeah. وجب كذلك إلغاؤها. Likewise, إلغاء. You have to nullify the amal of inna from la. وتكرارها, and it's also wajib to repeat it. For example, we give an example here. This one. لا في الدار رجل ولا امرأة. Yeah. And here he gives an example from an ayah. نحو قوله تعالى, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says لا فيها غول ولا هم عنها ينزفون. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking about the wine. in Jannah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all the, may Allah make us from those who drink from the wine of Jannah. لا فيها غول ولا هم عنها ينزفون. لا فيها غول بعد خمر. In Jannah, there is no غول in it. There is no غول. There is no harm, no bad effects. ولا هم عنها ينزفون. Nor will they become intoxicated by it. So it doesn't intoxicate you. It doesn't harm you. It doesn't have any bad effects. Yeah, so you can drink as much as you want. Inshallah. With utensils made from gold and silver. Allahu Akbar. All we need to do is be patient for a few years in this dunya. So here you can see la and you can see ghawl. You can see that between the la and ghawl, fiha has come. So now there's a separation between the la and the ismu la. So now what's happened? Two things happened. First of all, we nullified it cannot have the amal of inna. This is why ghawlun is marfu. Second thing is we have to repeat la. So here you go. This is the second la. This is the first la. That's the second la. So he's saying here, فَغَوْلٌ مُبْتَدَأٌ مُؤَخَّرٌ. Ghawl is a مُبْتَدَأٌ مُؤَخَّر. وَفِيهَا and فِيهَا is مُتَعَلِّقٌ بِمَحْذُوفٍ خَبَرٌ مُقَدَّمٌ. Yani basically what he's saying here, I'll do it quickly for you here myself. La fiha غَوْلٌ. Obviously this la is a harfu nafyin, yeah, has no amal. حرف نفي مبني على السكون لا محل له من الإعراب ولا عمل. فيها في حرف جر yes مبني على السكون. ها ضمير متصل مبني على السكون في محل جر بفي. ضمير متصل مبني على السكون في محل جر بفي. And then وباء الجار مجرور. So look here, when you look at this construct, you can see straight away if you want to do a general i'rab, that is the mubtada muakhar, this is the khabar muqaddam. But we said this hundreds of times, if not thousands, that when jar majroor, it comes in the place of khabar, then it is actually muta'alliq bi khabar mahdoof. So that's why he's saying. So he's saying here you would say al jaru wal majruru muta'alliqun bi mahdoof. بمحذوف خبر مقدم تقديره لا كائن فيها غول. Yeah, so you can see that this is really the khabar. الجار مجرور متعلق بمحذوف. And what is this محذوف? فيها is متعلق with محذوف. What is محذوف? It's خبر المقدم. Where is it? This كائن. لا كائن فيها غول. Obviously you never say that. Yes, nobody ever says that. This is just for i'rab purposes. No. Okay. So yeah, so فغول مبتدأ مؤخر وفيها متعلق بمحذوف خبر مقدم ولا نافية محملة. So this la now, it is still نافية, it's حرف النفي, but it's محملة. محملة يعني nullified. That's the second rule, yes. And the third and the final rule that we're going to talk about here now is this one. We've already spoken about it. وإذا تكررت لا. Now we're talking about if the la is repeated. Yani, there is no gap. There is nothing between la and the ism la. They're connected. But this time, just the la is repeated in the jumla. It's said twice. What happens in this case? ماذا يكون؟ What yes. وإذا تكررت لا. So if the la is repeated, what happens? لم يجب إعمالها. It's not obligatory for the la to have the function of inna. بل يجوز إعمالها. But it's permissible to have that إعمال when إذا استوفت بقية الشروط. If all the other conditions are met. So if the other conditions are met, the other three conditions are met. But this fourth condition is not met, which is what? The la shouldn't be repeated. So as long as the other three conditions are met and this was not met, then it's yajuz. I'maluha wa yajuzu ihmaluha. It's permissible for it to have the amal inna and also permissible for it not to have the amal of inna. So what does he say here? Fatakulu al-i'mal. So if you want, so if you make the la to have amal of inna in this situation, you will say la rajula fi dari wa la mara'ata. Bi fathi rajulin wa mara'atin. Bi fath. The rajul will have a fath on it and the imra will have a fath on it. Fatha. Wa taqulu al-ihmal. But if you nullify the amal of inna from la, what would you say? La rajulun fi dari wa la mara'atun. Bi raf'i rajulin wa mara'atin. Raf of the rajul and raf of imra'a. So let's do this one last i'rab from here before we move on. This one here. Let's say the la has the amal of inna. La rajula fi dari wa la mar'a. Yeah. So then how would it be? La rajula fi dari wa la mar'a. So what's this? Yes, Ilyas, go ahead.
لا حرف نفي مبني على السكون لا محل له من الإعراب.
Say that again.
Is it لا رجل؟
Yep, la rajula wa la mara'ata.
حرف نفي
نافية للجنس.
نافية للجنس تعمل عمل إن.
Good. لا نافية للجنس تعمل عمل إن. رجل
اسم لا منصوب وعلامة نصبه.
Not mansub. Remember we said that if ismula is mufrad, it is going to be mabni upon that which is mansub. So normally the word rajul, it will be mansub with what? With fatha. So here rajul is ismula mabni ala.
مبني على الفتح في محل نصب.
في محل نصب. Good. And fit dari. Okay, fit dari. Yep.
في حرف جر مبني على الكسر.
No, على السكون. على السكون.
مبني على السكون لا محل له من إعراب.
Yep. الدار.
دار اسم مجرور بفي وعلامة جره الكسرة الظاهرة على آخره.
نعم صحيح. Good. Yep. And الجار المجرور.
الجار والمجرور متعلق
بمحذوف
خبر.
بمحذوف خبر لا. Remember, yeah, again you do generally Arab, rajul will be ismu la, fit dari would be khabaru la. But we know that's not the case. It has to be muta'alliq with something, yes? So al-jar al-majrur muta'alliq bi mahdhufin. What is mahdhuf? It's khabaru la. Taqdiruhu
لا رجل كائنا.
كائن. Remember that ismu, the khabaru la is going to be marfu. Remember it has the amal of inna. لا رجل كائن في الدار. Good. Okay. الواو حرف.
واو حرف عطف مبني على الفتح لا محل له من الإعراب ولا عمل.
Yep. ولا.
لا نافية للجنس تعمل عملا.
Yep. Good. Has the same i'rab as that. نافي الجنس تعمل عمل إن. And امرأة.
امرأة اسم لا مبني على الفتح في محل نصب.
Yep. Has the same i'rab as رجل. Has the same i'rab as رجل. And what's the khabar then? So لا رجل في الدار. الرجل is the اسم لا. دا في الدار خبر لا. ولا امرأة. امرأة is اسم لا. Where's the خبر لا? محذوف.
محذوف.
It's known. Look at the previous statement. لا رجل في الدار ولا امرأة في الدار. So even in English, if you say there is no man in the house and no woman, and you would stop. You wouldn't say there is no man in the house and there is no woman in the house, unless you were to emphasize. But in everyday natural speech, you would say there is no man in the house and there is no woman. And obviously, in the context, the person you speak to will understand it means and there is no woman in the house. So also here, it would be يعني في الدار. That would be the يعني لا رجل في الدار ولا امرأة في الدار. But you don't need to say that again. But it's there the خبر, yeah. على كل حال. Okay. جيد. So now, alhamdulillah, we finished this. Hopefully that is clear. We're now going to move on to monada. So we're going to take another half an hour now, okay? Inshallah, then we'll finish. Wherever we finish, we'll stop in half an hour. Okay. So go to munada. There you go. Al-munada. Okay, so let me explain this word to you. So you have al-munadi, al-munada. It's from the fi'l nada. ينادي. نادى فعل الماضي. ينادي فعل المضارع. المنادي with a kasra. This is the ismu fa'il. This is the one who is calling. Nada means to call out, to call someone. Al-munadi is the one who's calling. Al-munada is the ism maf'ul, the one who is being called. That's al-munada. Al-munada, the one who is being called. Okay, so what does Ibn Ajurrumiyyah, the author, say, rahimahullah? He says, Babul Munada, the chapter Munada. What is it? Then he says, Al-Munada, khamsatu anwa. And we're going to talk about them, okay? Each one of them, inshallah. So I'm not going to really explain it here. We're going to go ahead and explain. So, but you have to know that Al-Munada, the one that who's being called, is khamsatu anwa, 5 times. Al-Mufradul Alam. First, the Munada is Mufrad. And alam. Alam is a proper noun. Yani ma'rifah. Second one, nakiratul maqsuda. Nakira, which is intended. Nakira, which is intended. Third one, nakiratu ghairul maqsudati. Nakira, which is not intended. Number 4, al-mudaf. And number 5, ash-shabihu bil-mudaf. And we spoke about ash-shabihu bil-mudaf. in the previous 1 or 2 chapters. Yeah. Okay. So let's go straight into the explanation. وأقول, he says, الشارح المنادى في اللغة هو what? He's going to tell you now in the lugha, linguistically, what does munada mean? هو المطلوب إقباله مطلقا. That's in the lugha. المطلوب إقباله مطلقا. The one whose attention or response is being sought. مطلقا. Yani unrestricted, in an unrestricted sense, in any way whatsoever. Yani that, yani al-munada in the lugha, the one who's being called out in the lugha, is the one whose attention or response is being sought. How is it being sought? In any way whatsoever. Doesn't matter how you do it, how it's done, doesn't matter. Mutlaqan, in any unrestricted way, in any way. But that doesn't really concern. Wa fi istilahi nuhat, but in the terminology of the grammarians, huwa, what is it? Al-matlubu iqbaluhu biya or ihda akhawatiha, is the one whose attention response is being sought by way of ya or one of the akhawat of ya. Ya Zakariya, Ya Muhammad, Ta'al. Yes, so that's in the with the grammarians. Yes, al-matlubu iqbaluhu biya or ihda akhawatiha, yani the one whose attention response is being sought, but not in an unrestricted manner, by way of ya or one of the sisters of ya. So ya is the asl. When you are calling, ya is the asl. Yes. So what's the akhawat of ya? It says here, wa akhawatu ya hiya what? Al-hamza. Nahwu azaydu akbil. Look here. Hamza. This is from the akhawat. You can use this. This basically means, when I say azaydu akbil, it means ya zaydu akbil. O Zayd, come. But this is the hamza. You only use it if someone is close. You are calling upon someone who's close to you, who's close, not far away. Okay, so it differs from the other. It differs from ya, and it differs from the other akhawat of ya. The other ones are normally used for someone who is a bit far away, but this hamza is for someone who's close only. Now, only for someone who is yani close. That's the first akhawat of ya. The next one, a. If I say a Ibrahim tafaham, a, same meaning as ya. A Ibrahim, tafaham. Oh Ibrahim, understand. Tafaham. Yeah, that's the second one. Yeah, the third one, aya. Aya. So I can say, look, I can say Zaidu akbil. So I can say, yeah, let's start with ya. I can say, ya Zaidu akbil. I can say, Zaidu akbil, if it's close. Or I can say, hey Zaidu akbil. Hey Zaid akbil. Or I can say, aya Zaidu akbil. Aya Zaidu akbil. And there's another one, haya. Last one. Haya Zaidu akbil. Haya Zaid akbil. Yes. So let's look at the example with aya. He says, aya shajar al-khaburi ma laka muriqan ka'annaka lam tajza' ala ibn tarifi. So there's a person, Ibn Tarif. His name is Al-Walid Ibn Tarif. Al-Walid Ibn Tarif. He died. He died. And now his sister is talking here. Aya. Aya means oh. Same as ya. She's addressing some trees. She's saying, oh, the trees of Al-Khabur. These are a type of tree in Syria. I think Al-Khabur is a river, or I believe it's a river in Sham or in Syria. And these trees are in that area. But anyhow, these are type of trees. She's calling out to a bunch of trees, a particular type of trees. Aya shajar al-Khabur, oh trees of Al-Khabur. Malaka murikan. What is up with you? Malaka, what is up with you? Murikan, waraka. You know waraka? Waraka is leaves. How is it that you are still green and leafy? How is it possible that you are still green and leafy? كأنك لم تجزع على ابن طريف. It is as if though you have not grieved over the death of Ibn Tarif. Yani, what should have happened, out of grief, your leaves, you should have shed your leaves. Yes. Because Ibn Tarif, he wasn't only good to people, he was good to all the creation. He was good to the trees, to animals. So how my brother Walid has died? Yes. But you are still fresh, green and leafy. You did not grieve over my brother Ibn Tarif. You should have shed your leaves out of grief. But it is as if though you haven't even grieved. Yes. Good or not? Nice poem, yes. Aya shajar al-Khaburi ma laka murikan كأنك لم تجزع على ابن طريف. No, صحيح. How is this possible? How can you do this? She's astonished. She is astonished. Okay, the last one. وهيا نحو هيا محمد تعالى. هيا محمد تعالى. Oh Muhammad, come. Oh Muhammad, come. So, for example, if you do the i'rab of this, I'll get you ready for the what's to come. So, let's say Haya Muhammadu Ta'ala. So, Haya is harfu nida'in. Harfu nida. Here it is mabni ala sukun. La mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. Muhammad is munada, that is which is being called. And I'm going to give you the i'rab, but the i'rab, why I'm going to give you this i'rab, why it has this i'rab, we're going to discuss it later. But remember it. Muhammad munada mabniyun ala dam. Fi mahalli nasb. This munada is mabniyun ala dam fi mahalli nasbin. Ta'ala is fi'lu amrin mabniyun ala hadf al-alif. Remember, fi'l amr can sometimes be mabniyun ala hadfi harf al-illa, and harf al-illa is what? Alif, waw, ya. Alif, waw, and ya. Yes. So here, obviously, it is the alif which is gone because we have the proof. It's got a fatha on there. I mean, the asal of this is the fi'l madi is ta'ala, fi'l mudari is yata'ala, and fi'l amr is ta'ala. Any ta'al, ta'al, ta'al. Come, come, come. تعالى فعل أمر مبني على حذف الألف وفاعله ضمير مستتر وجوبا تقديره أنت. تعال أنت. Yeah, I mean, it's straightforward. The only thing new here really is these two things that you should know how to do the Arab of this. Ta'ala. Okay, so he's giving you an explanation of what is munada in the lugha and in the istilah, the nuhat. He's told you about the akhawat of ya, and he's giving you examples of akhawat ya. Now he's going to talk about what? This, what we said before. He said, ثم المنادى على خمسة أنواع. Al-munada itself is خمسة أنواع. Number one, that's this way I want you now focus, okay? And in fact, the good thing is here is that this we've done in the previous chapter, some of it. So the first step is al-mufrad al-alam. The munada is mufrad and is alam. Alam, yani a proper noun, yani ma'rifah. Al-mufrad, yeah? Remember, what did I say to you? That mufrad, normally when we speak al-mufrad, we mean what? Something that is not muthanna, something that is not jam mudhakkar salim, jam muannath salim, something which is not al-asma al-khamsa, blah, blah, blah. That's the normal, everyday usage of mufrad. But here in this chapter munada and the chapter we just took of la an-nafi al-jins, what do you say al-mufrad is? We said al-mufrad is that which is not mudaf and that which is not shabihun bil mudaf. That which is not mudaf and that which doesn't resemble mudaf. And that's why he says here, look, وَقَدْ مَضَى فِي بَابِ لَا تَعْرِيفُ الْمُفْرَدِ. And in the bab of la, and indeed it has preceded in the bab of la, the definition of mufrad. And I've just reminded you. That's why don't be surprised if you see here Muhammadani, Fatimatani, Muhammaduna, Fatimatu. Don't think, this is not mufrad. Yes, there's mufrad with a different meaning. Yani that which is not mudaf, not shabih bil mudaf. So that means it in according to this definition of mufrad, it can be muthanna, it can be jam, no problem. Yeah. So the first thing is this one, al mufrad al alam. Yes. ومثال example ya Muhammadu. We just done the i'rab of that. Yes. There. Ya Muhammadu, same as Haya Muhammad. That's why I did the i'rab here. وَيَا فَاطِمَةُ, same thing. وَيَا مُحَمَّدَانِ, same thing. وَيَا فَاطِمَتَانِ, same thing. يَا مُحَمَّدُونَ, same thing. يَا فَاطِمَاتُ, same thing. Okay, I'm not going to give you the ruling here because he's going to give us the ruling in the next part. So I don't want to jump ahead, yeah? We'll take it as the author is saying this time. Yeah. So all of these are mufrad. And they are alam, as you can see, proper nouns. Yes, Muhammad, Fatima, Muhammadani, Fatimatani, Muhammaduna, Fatimatu. They're all. What is the i'rab? I've given the i'rab of Ya Muhammad. Now you can think for yourself what's with the i'rab, but inshallah we'll look at it in more detail. That's the first type. Second type. There. An-nakiratul maqsuda. An-nakiratu al-maqsuda. Nakira, which is intended. What does that mean? For example, There's a man in front of you. Man in front of you. You intend him. You want him. You are addressing him. You want him by your speech. You intend him. So you say to him, Ya Rajulu. Rajul, is it ma'rifa or nakira? Of course it's nakira. But here you are intending someone specific by this nakira. You have a student in front of you. I'm a teacher, for example, I have a student. I say, Ya talib, ittaqillah. Ya talib, ittaqillah. I'm talking to one specific talib. Yes? Or sheikh, ya sheikh, ya sheikh. Yeah, like, so I'm asking a sheikh a question. I say, ya sheikh, ya sheikh, ya sheikh. Yes? But it is nakira. Ya sheikh, ya sheikhu. I'm addressing one specific sheikh. Huh? So like, for example, that's what he says here. So I've explained in my own words. Let's see what the definition gives for nakil maqsuda. Wahiya, what is it? Allati yuqsadu biha wahidun muayyanun. Yuqsadu biha, yani by way of nakil maqsuda, one specific individual is intended. Okay? Mimma yasihhu itlaqu lafdhiha alayhi. From amongst people, or from amongst things, or from amongst people to whom a lafd can be applied. So basically, lafdhiha, yani lafd, this ha, it goes back to nakir al-maqsuda. So yani, nakir al-maqsuda is what? Where one specific individual is meant amongst those to whom the word can correctly apply. So for example, in front of me, I have many students. So I say, Ya talib. Now this talib can apply to all of these 30 students. But I intend one specific talib. So this specific talib is amongst many other tullab to whom this word talib can be applied. Is from amongst them, but one specific one. Okay? And it's like a complicated way of giving a definition. I've given a definition. If you understand that, that's fine. For example, nahwu ya zalimu turidu wahidan bi'ayni. When you say ya zalim, ya zalimu, you say this if you mean one specific individual that you're talking to. Ya zalim, anta ya zalim, ittaqillah ya zalim. Okay? That's the second. Okay. Bismillah. Third one is what? An-nakiratu ghayr al-maqsuda. Nakira which is not intended. So what is it? So basically you don't intend one specific. It's nakira, but you don't intend by a specific person. For example, there is a blind man, he's walking, nasallallahu salam wal afiyah. He's walking, a blind man, yes. He needs help to cross the road, for example. Yeah. He says, Ya rajulan. Okay, don't worry about why here's Ya rajulu and why Ya rajulan. We're going to look at the ruling after this. Ya rajulan khudh biyadi. Ya rajulan, oh man, take my hand. Oh man, take my hand. Now here, he's not, obviously, you can't see, yes, so he's not intending us, he's not talking to a specific man. He doesn't know who's around him. Yes, but what he, so he doesn't, he's basically saying anyone who this word rajul, this description of rajul applies to, just take me by my hand and help me. Oh man, help me. Anyone. Basically saying anyone out there, any man out there, please take me by my hand and help me cross the road. So this is nakira, nakira, but غير المقصودة. You do not intend by it a specific, it's not intended. This nakira is not intended. You don't intend by a specific individual. That's why he says here, and غير المقصودة وهي, what is it? التي يقصد بها واحد غير معين. You intend by it a single person, but not a specific single person. Any man from there, any one man, but not is غير معين, but unspecified. نحو قول الواعظ, for example, a person, al-wa'id. Wa'id is someone who's giving you an admonishment. So for example, when somebody is admonishing a people in front of him, there's a gathering and he's admonishing them and he says, Ya ghafilan tanabbah. Ya ghafilan tanabbah. Oh, you, the one who is ghafil, negligent. Tanabbah. Yes, pay heed. Pay heed. Ya ghafil tanabbah. So look what it says. فَإِنَّهُ لَا يُرِيدُ وَاحِدًا مُعَيَّنًا. He doesn't intend by it, yani he's not intending by it one specific individual in that gathering. No. What's his intention? What does he mean? بَلْ يُرِيدُ, rather what he wants is كُلَّ مَنْ يُطْلَقُ عَلَيْهِ لَفْظُ غَافِلٍ. But he intends by it everyone to whom this word ghafil can be applied. Yeah. Okay. That's what we've done there. Okay, the number 4 is al-mudaf. That's clear. Nahwu, for example, ya talib al-ilmi ijtahid, or student of knowledge, strive, or seeker of knowledge, strive. So you can see here that the munada is talib al-ilm, is the one that's been called, and this is mudaf. Talib al-ilm. Talib is mudaf, al-ilm is mudaf ilayh. Number 5, ash-shabihu bil-mudaf. And we also spoke about that last lesson in detail. What is shabih bil-mudaf? We said shabih bil-mudaf is what? Is something that resembles mudaf. How does it resemble mudaf? Just like mudaf, it needs mudaf ilayhi after it to complete its meaning. Shabih bil mudaf. Why does it resemble mudaf? Because after this word, something comes after it which completes its meaning. Just like mudaf ilayhi completes the meaning of mudaf, also shabih bil mudaf, something that comes after it completes the meaning of shabih bil mudaf. So what is the definition again? Just remind us of the definition. We've looked at it already. وَهُوَ مَتَّصَلَ بِهِ شَيْءٌ مِنْ تَمَامِ مَعْنَى. Ash-shabih muda is that thing to which it is connected, something, it is connected to it, what? That which completes its meaning. And what did we say? We said the thing that comes after shabih mudaf and completes the meaning of shabih mudaf can either be marfu, mansub, or majroor. And we gave examples of that last lesson, if you remember. If you don't, then go back to the lesson. But we're going to look at some examples now. That's why it says here, look here. الشبيه بالمضاف وهو ما اتصل به شيء من تمام معناه. سواء أكان هذا المتصل به مرفوعا به. Whether this متصل به, whether this thing which is connected to it, يعني شبيه بالمضاف, whether this thing which is connected to شبيه المضاف is مرفوع به, it is مرفوع because of it. So basically, the thing that comes after شبيه المضاف can sometimes be مرفوع. That's what it's saying. For example, نحو يا حميدا فعله, O you the one whose actions are praiseworthy. O you the one whose actions are praiseworthy. Because you can see here يا حرف نداء. حميدا, it is شبيه بالمضاف. And after it we have فعله, and this is مرفوع. Yeah, so look here, let me just break it down quickly. يا حميدا فعله. So you are saying, oh you the one, Hamid means praiseworthy, yes? إنك حميد مجيد. So Hamid is praiseworthy. So what are you saying here? يا حميدا فعله. You're saying, oh you the one. You're calling out this to this individual. Oh you the one whose fi'l, whose actions are Hamid, praiseworthy. So basically here, that is harf nida. This is munada, but it is shabihun bil mudaf. And we're going to look at the i'rab of that later, okay? And then this is the thing that has come after shabih bil mudaf to complete the meaning of shabih bil mudaf. And in this case, it is marfu. Why is it marfu? Because it's the fa'il of Hamid. Okay, because you know in the Arabic language, there are some words that come and they have the same amal as a fi'l. What's the amal of a fi'l? To make a fa'il marfu. Yes. And to make the maf'ul mansoob. That's normally the job of a fi'l, yes? To have a fa'il after it, and to have a marfu fa'il after it, and to have a mansoob maf'ul after it. So sometimes there are other words that come and they have the same amal of the fi'l. For example, ismu fa'il, ismu maf'ul. Yeah, these are from the words that can come and have the same job as a fi'l. Or also sifatun mushabbaha. This is sifatun mushabbaha, this one. Hamid is sifa mushabbaha. We haven't looked at sifa mushabbaha in detail, or we're very briefly touching, but inshallah the next book. Okay, I'm going to explain what sifa mushabbaha is. But sifa mushabbaha is also from those words which have the amal of a fi'l. So they have a fa'il which is marfu after them, and they have a maf'ul after them that is mansoob. So this is why Hamid here, this is the fa'il of Hamid. And that's why it's marfu. So if I was with the i'rab of this, yeah, we've done it. Yeah. Harfu nida'in mabni ala sukuni la mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. Hamidan, if I was the i'rab of Hamidan, I would say is munada, of course, and it is mansoob. Why is it mansoob? لأنه شبيه بالمضاف. Because شبيه بالمضاف. That's the ruling. But we're going to, again, as I said, we're going to look at the ruling. Yes. Mansub li'annahu shay'un mudaf. And then you say, وَعَلَامَةُ نَصْبِهِ, of course, is fatha dahir ala akhirih. So Hamidan is munada. Munadan. So munada. Mansubun. Why is it mansub? لأنه شبيه بالمضاف. وعلامة نصبه فضل الآخر. And fi'l therefore would be, you would say fa'il. It's the fa'il of Hamid. And of course it's marfu. وعلامة رفع ضم ظاهر آخره وهو مضاف. And الهاء ضمير متصل مبني الضم في محل جر مضاف إليه. So that's Shabih bil Mudaf. So basically what I'm saying is that Shabih bil Mudaf, after it you can have, after Shabih bil Mudaf comes information that completes the meaning of Shabih bil Mudaf. And this information that comes after Shabih bil Mudaf can sometimes be marfu because it is the fa'il of Shabih bil Mudaf. Okay? And sometimes kana mansuban bihi. Sometimes it is mansub bihi because of the Shabih bil Mudaf. Why because of it? Because it is Shabih al-Mudaf that is acting upon that word. It's the amil. For example, look here. Ya hafidan darsahu. Look, ya hafidan darsahu. We've done this, but because it's a new concept, that's why I'm repeating it. Ya hafidan darsahu. Now you can see here, this has the same i'rab as before. You see here, Ya hamidan, it's the same i'rab, ya hafidan, same i'rab, doesn't change. What now? Look at the information that's come after it. Is it a marfu? No, it is mansub. Why is it mansub? Because this is the maf'ul of hafid. Yani, oh you, the one who memorizes his lessons. Oh you, the one who memorizes his lessons. So of course, dars is the maf'ul for hafid. So dars, the i'rab of dars would be what? Maf'ulun bihi. Mansub is the maf'ul of hafid. مفعول به منصوب وعلامة نصبه الفتحة الآخر وهو مضاف والهاء ضمير متصل مبني الضم في محل جر مضاف إليه. The last one, أم كان مجرورا بحرف جر يتعلق به, or the information that comes after شبه المضاف is majroor by way of a harf al-jar which normally is connected bihi, yani with the shabih bil mudaf. So the information that comes after shabih bil mudaf is majroor. Why is it majroor? It's majroor because of a harf jar, because a harf jar has entered upon it, which is normally connected, muta'alliq, with the shabih bil mudaf. For example, ya muhibban lil khair. Okay, so yeah, this one here, marfu'an bihi, am kana mansuban bihi, am kana majrur bi harf jar yata'allaqu bihi. Yeah, so it's majrur because of harf jar which is muta'alliq with the shabih bil mudaf. For example, ya muhibban lil khair. Look here. I'm going to finish now after this. I'm going to stop here. Ya muhibban lil khair. Oh, you the one who loves khair. Or you the one who loves khair. This again, same i'rab. Lil khair, you can see now the information that has come after muhibban, which is the munada, shabih bil mudaf. The information lil khair that has come after it to complete its meaning, it is majroor. Not marfu, mansub is majroor, lil khairi, of course. easy إعراب. Yes, اللام حرف جر مبني على الكسر لا محل من الإعراب. الخير مجرور بلا ولام جر كسر على آخره. and والجار مجرور متعلق بمحب. Okay, so going back here, so basically there you go. The munada is of 5 types: al-mufrad al-alam, al-nakr al-maqsuda, al-nakr ghayr al-maqsuda, al-mudaf, al-shabib al-mudaf, and you know what shabib al-mudaf is not, and you know from the thingy, the lesson before. Now this is the types. Now what is the hukam? What is the ruling of these 5 types? I've given you a couple, 2-3 rulings now already by looking at the examples, but we're going to look at the rulings of each of these 5 types tomorrow, inshallah. So this is where we are going to start off from tomorrow. Hukmul munada, inshallah. And we're going to finish Hukmul munada tomorrow bi'idhnillah. And we are also going to take the following chapter, which is al-maf'ulu lahu. These are 2 things we're going to look at tomorrow, inshallah. Yeah? Bi'idhnillah. So today, we're going to stop here, bi'idhnillah. Question, yeah, okay, go ahead. If you don't have a question or you don't want to stay, you are free to leave. It's your choice, inshallah. And I'll see you tomorrow same time, bi'idhnillah. But you have a question, yes? Please go ahead. Hey, barakallahu feek. I have free time and I want to pursue an Islamic diploma degree online. Islamic diploma degree online with Arabic. Yes, definitely, why not? It's something good. Alhamdulillah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you success and make it easy for you and make it beneficial. So it's an Arabic, yeah. So it's a diploma, but the diploma is about Arabic. Arabic language. Yeah, Arabic separate, okay. Yeah, well, obviously, just make sure that the people you are learning from are Ahl Sunnah. And the last thing you want to do is end up enrolling on a program which is run by Ash'aris and Jahmiyyah and Mu'tazila and Sufis or some other deviants. Nasalullah salam wal afiyah. So as long as the program is, based upon the Quran and the Sunnah and the way of the Salaf, then yes, of course, go for it. If not, then don't study it. Yes, you can send the link, inshallah. But sending the link here, I'm not sure how I'm going to access that. If you send it to me on Telegram, that will be better. then I can look at it properly, inshallah. Yeah, so is that okay? Yeah. Oh, just type a message in the Ajurrumiyyah group. Yeah, type a message in the Ajurrumiyyah group. Yeah, in the comments. Yeah, in the comments. Just put like something like I need some advice on a diploma, and then I'll message you, inshallah. And then you can send me the link. Okay, barakallah feek. Now we'll look at it, and then on Thursday, inshallah. Tomorrow I won't be able to do it by tomorrow. Thursday, inshallah, I will let you know. Okay. Barakallahu fil jami'. See you tomorrow, inshallah, at the same time. Wallahu ta'ala a'la wa a'lam wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.